Hey, what's up guys, this is Alex, and if you're here then you read the title and you're probably interested in knowing how to rep farm. There's probably a bunch of videos by now on how to do the rep farming here in Fortuna, but I figured I'd give you guys a more in-depth look at the three factions and how to farm at the moment. Some of these methods are actually going to change in the long run, but for now, let's get right to it. For those of you that are beginners, you should know that there is a cap on how much you can farm per day. This cap is equal to your master rank times 1000 plus another 1000. So for example, if you're master rank 5, then you'd be looking at 6,000 in rep farming per day. Now this farming, your daily limit will reset daily basically. So this is gonna reset daily with the servers. My server reset time is actually 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can look that up for you. I mean, look at, you got to do some math and then see what time that is for you. Alright, so moving on to the main faction, which is Solaris United. There's three ways to get rep with Solaris United. First one would be talking to Utico. She gives you the bounties. Now you can do these bounties. If you're gonna do it this way, I suggest you do the highest bounty over and over and over again. It nets you about 4,420 to about 5,200 ish if you guys complete all of the objectives. So sometimes you don't complete the secondary objective. Now I don't suggest you do this kind of farming because this is the slowest way to farm this. The second way to do this is by actually fishing. This is going to be the intermediate way. Now I'll show you real quick what is the best way to fish, because there are fishing hotspots for those of you that don't know, and probably, you know, I was actually surprised to find this out, and I've been playing the game for quite a while. So let's see, I like fishing in caves, not out in the open, because in the cave you get this one fish. I totally forgot the name right now. Let's see, I usually go to this cave way back here, and I forgot the it's something with the C. So you get this one fish that spawns fairly common in caves, and then you get that one, and it gives a decent amount of rep. So I'll show you right now. Let me cut right to it. Alright, so here we go. Here's the favorite cave that I like to use. And we have a fishing hotspot right off the bat right here. So anytime you're going fishing and you see this greenish, bluish area, this is a hotspot, meaning that fishers are going to spawn here more often, and you get, I believe, rarer fishers. I think it's only maybe just more often. As you can see, you can tell which is a hotspot and which is not. This blue thing is just part of the actual cave. That greenish thing is a hotspot, and you can see over here this is all pretty much clear, so you know that there is no hotspot here. Quick reminder, if you're going to be farming like fishing and mining, get yourself a Smita Kavat, because they give you the affinity like I'm getting right now. Hopefully, okay. Well, I have no way to point it out. So right there, right next to my health, you can see that I have an affinity boost right now, which means I get double drops and double affinity. So getting on to the fishing, best fishing method to use is to use the Stunna fishing spear. As the name suggests, it is a stunning fishing spear. Every time you complete you catch a fish, it basically stuns all the nearby fishes. Now, this is a viable method for rep farming, but I don't like it. It's actually very slow. Let me see if I can let me throw up some lures here. Hopefully get a couple more. Okay, here we go. So we got a scrubber here. These aren't worth that much, and you can see the fishing effect right there. That whole shock effect. That's the Stunna spear. If you don't have the spear, it doesn't matter. I mean, you can catch fish fairly easily. So it's not something, okay, I missed that. That was pretty easy. It's not something that's 100% needed, but it is very useful. So it works very well. So another scrubber, let me let me cut right to it to show you guys what fish it is that I was trying to tell you about in this cave. Pretty much in every cave. Okay, never mind. Here it is. The caramel. There we go. So this one is pretty decent as far as rep goes. Now fishing, you can expect to get somewhere between 6 to 8,000 rep, more or less, for about 12 minutes of runtime. Alright, so the final step of, well, the final way to farm the rep here in Fortuna is going to be by mining. Now, mining is my favorite way. If you can see here on my map, you can go ahead and pause the video here so that you can see where all of the cave locations are, because you are going to be needing to come into the caves to go ahead and be able to efficiently mine. Because if you go out into the world, it's not going to be as good as finding in caves. So I went ahead and pointed that one out. I have no idea which cave that is. I just went there once, discovered it. So I have no idea if it's going to be full of materials or not, but we'll see right now. I totally hate this infinite wheel because it just trips me out every single time. So okay, that cave, it's right here. So I can already see in my minimap that there is a ton of materials here, and some of them are here and some of them are on top. So farming tricks and tips are going to be, I think you guys all know how to farm mine right now. You want to go ahead and try to get it in the middle of the crosshairs as possible so that you can get the five gem rankings, which means that you'll get additional gems whenever you finish mining that deposit. So for example, this one, I love these because they're just a single one. All you got to do is get it right dead smack in the middle. That I failed on that one, so I only got like 2.5. If we get another one, okay, these is another single. So here we go, close to middle, and then I got 5 stars on that one, meaning that I got a little bit of extra materials from whatever drops. So this is the third way to farm for rep. I suggest that while you're doing these, if you're gonna go with the mining way, go ahead and search every one of the caves for the loot symbol. Let me see if I can. There's a couple here. Okay, so that wasn't it. So you'd want to search these caves for the loot symbol, just because there's a pretty decent chance for a toroid to spawn here, and that is going to be needed for the next what's it called, faction that we're going to be talking about, which is Vox Solaris. Now there's some of you that are probably going to tell me that, oh, I'm missing a fourth way to farm for rep over here, which is by hunting. Now I consider this complete dog shit as far as rep farming. It's doable, but it is slower, the bounties. Let me go ahead and equip my my lure here so that I can see where the locations are. So for example, right here, let's go ahead and try to pick this guy up. Okay, let's make our way over there. Now this is nice if you want to get the decorations for your orbiter, but I wouldn't suggest hunting as far as an actual rep farming method. I'll go ahead and equip. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So we got some poop over here. Let's go ahead and track this guy. This will take a while, and sometimes okay, I don't even have the right frame for this. Usually come in with Ivara or Equinox, but every time I try to trank one of these wild creatures with Equinox, when I put them to sleep, it kind of sucks, just because wait, how did we okay, here it is. So every time I put him to sleep with Equinox and I try to pick him up, I get a bad capture. Okay, did I get it? Okay, where is it? Here we go. There we go. So you lost it. I never saw it to begin with. This is actually something that's going to happen very, very, very often with wild animal farms. So this is why I consider it complete shit. Do it only if you want the decorations for your orbiter. Otherwise, I wouldn't suggest it, like, whatsoever. Just don't do it. Before I move on to the next faction, which is Vox Solaris, I want to explain how I got those numbers and how I know which method is faster. So basically, well, explain it better. I tried to do it just a second ago, but it didn't go too well. I wasn't happy with it. So basically, you come to Utical. Here's going to be your baseline. So you go ahead and start the highest level bounty and time yourself for that bounty. Usually I can do it in about 12 to 13 minutes, and that's in a public lobby, and that's also getting all the objectives. So your baseline of how long you need to be out in the world and how much you need to time yourself, it's going to be the actual time it takes you to complete this bounty. So let me put an example. For me, it's 12 minutes to complete this bounty. So what I do is I go ahead and put it down on a spreadsheet. I put down 12 minutes and how much rep I got in total. On average, you're looking at, like I said, you can get anywhere between 4,100 to 5,100 or 5,000. It kind of depends on whether you get the objectives done. So what you do is you put down on a spreadsheet 12 minutes, 5,000, for example, and that you got 5,000 rep for the highest level bounty. Now you come out into the world and you start timing yourself the minute you get up here into Orb Vallis. And for example, if you're gonna go fishing, you can go ahead and start timing yourself now, and then pick your spot. I usually pick this one back spot over here in the cave, like I showed you, and you go and fish for 12 minutes. Now fishing is a little bit time consuming, and it's going to drain some of your rep because you're gonna have to buy lures for that in order to fish efficiently enough to get more rep than bounties. Fishing can be more profitable as far as bounties, like comparing it to bounties, but it's you know, it's gonna drain your rep. So I don't really suggest it. It's a viable, and I mean, fishing isn't bad. It's not terrible, but I won't suggest it. Now once you're done fishing for 12 minutes, you go ahead, come back into Fortuna, turn in all of your fishes. Let me go ahead and show you right now. So you come down here, you're gonna go ahead and make your way over to the business, maybe? I still haven't gotten the hang of who does what. So yeah, the business, there we go. So you go ahead and provide all of your fishes. Make sure you provide fishes, because if you go ahead and dismantle them, that's dismantling is only to get materials, not to get rep. So you provide all of your fishes that you got in that run, and you'll know how much rep you got in total. So you write that down. For example, 12 minutes, I don't know, well, whatever. So you put 12 minutes, 840 rep. Now you know how long it takes you to fish and how much rep you can get. Obviously, this is going to be different for everyone. So I'd suggest you time yourself to know which is the best method. And then for the next one, you do the same thing. For mining, you come up to Orb Vallis, start timing yourself as soon as you come out of the door, and go ahead and mine. Just pick a cave, go in there, mine for 12 minutes, pick the next cave once you deplete all the resources, and once your 12 minutes are up, no matter what, come back to Fortuna, go over to Smokefinger, and trade in all of your gems, which I'm actually gonna do now. This was actually a 12-minute run that I did earlier. So mining is a lot more profitable. It can net you close to your max rep daily. For my level, MR 18, and my daily limit is 19,000. So mining for about 12 minutes gets me very close. Now this was a 12-minute run that I did before I started the video, which was 17,100. You can average about 15,000 to 19,000 depending on whether you're lucky enough to get your Kavat to trigger the buff and if you have your resource booster. Now, without a resource booster, you're looking at half that roughly. So it's still better than fishing, and it's still better than bounties. And if you get lucky, it'll be a whole lot better. So if you get any of these three high level gems, the okay, Amaras change. Amaras used to be 1,000, I thought. Okay, never mind. So if you get a Zodian or Thist, that's already 1,000 right there. So if you get lucky, you'll get a whole lot more rep than fishing or bounties. So moving on. The next faction is Vox Solaris. You can find Vox Solaris behind Utico. So you come into this little secret gathering room. At the moment, there's only one way to gather, to get rep with Vox Solaris. That's by talking to Little Duck and trading toroids for standing. This is the only way. Now, you can see here, they also have a daily limit. It's the same daily limit for all of your factions-ish. I know it has a different name. Right now, it's not coming to mind. So it's the same. It's not a combined limit. It's actually like a single limit for each faction. So I can go ahead and turn this in. I already turned in 17,000 from mining. That's gonna be for Solaris United. For Vox Solaris, we got 12,000 because I've been actually farming toroids. Now I'm gonna go ahead and skip the toroid farming video because there's already a whole bunch of videos I've seen up for farming toroids. You can watch one of those, or you can just take my word for it. Let me see. Let me actually go out to Fortuna real quick and show you the locations. Basically, all you got to do is kill enemies in 3 locations, and they have a chance to drop. Or you can do my favorite method, which is to go into caves. I go cave diving, and then in those caves, most of the times you'll find the toroids in there, just hanging out. You can just pick them up. If you got a resource booster, it'll be picking up 2 at a time. And if you have your caveat buff as well as a resource booster, you're picking up 4 at a time. So I suggest you do it that way. The 3 places are going to be, let me see if I can remember this. So one of them is Enrichment Labs, I think. Hold on, let me search this real quick. I don't want to give you guys like the wrong info. So okay, one of them is Enrichment Labs. So you kill enemies here. Don't kill them outside in the outside area. Let me show you what I mean by this. The only time I've had luck is by killing them inside of the buildings. For example, out here, this area, you can kill enemies here for hours, which is what I did. And I didn't get a single toroid drop. So what I did is I actually tested this out. I went inside the building. So you come in here and you make your way all the way to the back of the building. This is going to be the same thing for all of the locations. So you make your way all the way back there, inside of the building, way inside, and then you kill enemies there. That's the one place where I've been able to farm them. The only time I was able to get any of them to drop, it was there. Now, one of the places is Enrichment Labs. We're already here. The second place is going to be Spaceport. Same thing. Make your way inside the Spaceport to make sure you get those drops. And the last place is going to be Temple of Profit, all the way up here. So Temple of Profit, Spaceport, and Enrichment Labs for toroid drops. And at the moment, that's the only way to rank up your Vox Solaris standing with Little Duck. Now, I say at the moment because once these orbs, the profit orb taker things, once they are put into the game where you can kill them, I'm pretty sure they're going to drop something similar to the Eidolons in Plains of Eidolon, where it'll be able to give you something that you can turn in for rep, or maybe just killing them will reward rep. So for now, just farm those toroids. I suggest you do them in the caves with a resource booster and with a speed of caveat. And doing it that way is a lot less headache and a lot less RNG than actually farming for hours in the Spaceport, Enrichment Labs, or the temporary profit. Last but not least is going to be the vent kids. Now for the vent kids, they're somewhere up here. I don't want to deal with that, finding them right now. So for the vent kids, you can talk to Rocky. Rocky will basically give you cosmetic things for your K drive. So you can assemble your K drive, you can buy K drives here, all that. Now I like it, and at the same time I don't like the K drive. In order to farm the rep for vent kids, I saw this one video where Mogamu, believe it or not, I do watch his videos. I think they're pretty cool. Mogamu posted a video. I'm not sure if he's the one that found it or if it was from somebody else, where you can come over here. Let me come up into Fortuna. Why am I going in? I mean into Orvalis. I keep going into Fortuna and then out and in and out. It's getting ridiculous. So basically Mogamu found this one spot, or someone else did, in the Pearl, which is the best place to farm your rep for K drives. Now this might get patched soon. The other way that people are doing it is by doing it right here. Once you come out into Orvalis, you can come over here to these pipes and basically grind out the pipes while doing tricks to accumulate the copter like reputation thing. Copter is a little weird. So right now I got 1740. The copter meter isn't your actual rep, so that doesn't mean that I got 1740 rep. That just means that I got that much in copter. Now the rep is equal to it's actually 4 to 1. So for every 4 copter you get 1 vent kit rep. And let me show you real quick over here in the Pearl how you can farm. Alright, so here we go. Here's the Pearl. Make sure you come out here if you're gonna do this method, which I totally suggest you do. Make sure you come out here with a decent frame. Don't come out here with like 100 health and 100 shields, because you're just gonna die. So what you want to do is come out here and grind this one spot, this one circle basically. You can grind by pressing control and then you jump. Okay, there you go. That happens quite often when you're like starting out fresh, and basically you got to get a hang of it. So you come up here, you grind this once like circle, you press control to grind and then leave it grinding, and while you're jumping for the next area you can do a trick, maybe right click, left click, or just double jump or something, and keep doing this. Now you want to go ahead and try to jump outside so that you can land outside, because there is a bug where if you land in okay, let me take care of everyone real quick over here, because these guys are getting extra annoying. So there is a bug where if you're grinding up here and you don't stick the landing, for example, if you don't stick the landing, you're not gonna get the rep. So you could be grinding out here, right? So you're grinding here basically. If you land anywhere between this spot and this spot, so from here, basically from where the waypoint is to where you're grinding, if you land anywhere in this spot, there's a pretty big chance that it's not going to let you stick the landing. So you're gonna get a red landing, like a red splat on your copter reputation numbers, and that just means that you didn't stick the landing and you didn't get anything for that whole period of time. So what you want to do is, for example, this is actually pretty quick. One run of this gets you 750 rep. So you come up here, do some tricks, not fall off like I did. So grind it, jump, do a trick, grind it again, jump, trick, grind it again, jump a little bit higher, couple tricks. And as soon as it starts getting to 100-ish copter and like a times 25-ish like I have right now, you want to go ahead and try to land while you're grinding. For example, there we go. I know I landed on the spot, but like I said, it's only a chance that you're not gonna be able to get you're not gonna be able to stick the landing. So sometimes I'd say it's more like a 50-50. I've had times where it does let you stick the landing, and I've had times where it doesn't. Here's something interesting that's happening. I have 3 stars wanted level. If you get something like this, make sure you destroy these and clear out the enemies so that you can continue your grinding peacefully, because it's only going to get more annoying from here on out. So let's do another one real quick so that you guys can get the idea. So jump up here, grind it, jump, 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 and do some tricks. Hold down spacebar a little bit so you can jump higher, do some more tricks, and more tricks. And we're getting close to 100. And I fell off. It doesn't matter, because even once you fall off, I've noticed that it does actually give you the points when you fall off. So that's kind of weird. I don't know what to tell you. Let me focus a little bit. I don't want to fall off for no reason. Now at the beginning, this is gonna feel super clunky because I've already done it, and I know. Here we go. I got enough, and I got killed midair. That absolutely sucks. Anyways, you guys get the idea. You try to jump off when you have about 3,000 accumulated, which is about 100 copter times a 30 multiplier. If you got anywhere near that, like 150 times 25 or something like that, just step off of it, because the max copter that you can get in one run is going to be 3,000. So you can be there for 30 minutes grinding. When you get off, the maximum you're gonna get is 30,000. So don't even waste your time farming more than the actual 3,000. I mean, so max is 3,000. Don't waste your time trying to farm more than that, because that's the cap. So I have no idea how much I got here. I got a couple of 3,000s. I make my way here to Fortuna real quick so that I can show you some decent mods. Now, the first time you do this farm with the in the Pearl, it's gonna be a little clunky, but I suggest you just stick to it for a little bit. If you're just unranked and you have you basically have no reputation with the vent kits. There we go. So I got 1847 for the rep with them. That's not too bad. So the first time you do this, if you have no rep with the vent kits whatsoever, I suggest you just do that for a little bit until you can get to the first rank. And once you get to the first rank, make sure you get which one is it? This one. This is going to be the reward that I suggest you pick, which is Maglocks. Maglocks is going to give you a 30% more magnetism on grinds, meaning that you're going to be able to stick to that rail a lot easier. So that's going to make your farming a lot quicker, well, and a lot more efficient. Now with time, I actually bought these air time, so we got less gravity while falling down, so you got more air time. Clearly, how the name is self-explanatory. And then Trailblazer to kind of hurt some of the enemies while they're on the rails, because that happens sometimes. It's a little annoying. This is the most important thing there is out there. Now, I know this is a very long video. Might be a couple of parts that are confusing. Now, if you're confused in any one of these parts, leave me a comment, and I'm actually on top of comments all the time. So if you leave me a comment and you want me to explain a different, like a specific thing, I can go ahead and explain it as best I can. But yeah, hopefully this was helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.